Good evening, everyone. I'm Nathan, here with my wonderful wife, Laura.
Hello.
And we're here to do a review of the Perfect Match board game from the 80s.
Yes. As you can probably see here, this is based on the television hit game show starring Greg Evans. This was a TV show. I think more than one country had this same sort of show. I think maybe it was called something different
Same format,
in some places,
yeah.
But this is based on the Australian version.
It's about getting to know your partners and things and friends and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so the actual show itself, I believe, it was actually like meeting people, trying to find your perfect match. This is, a little bit different because obviously you can't meet new people
No, it's about,
in a game.
it's about finding out more about your friends, I guess.
And building your perfect match.
Yeah, so...
It's an interesting one. Alright, so we're not going to play it because it is a minimum of 3 players and there's only 2 of us.
And it's probably not that interesting to watch, to be honest, if we played it.
I think it would be something that would take potentially quite a while to get through. So we have the board here. Now, if you're familiar with the show, you'll know that this is Dexter, the robot in each corner. If you're not familiar with it, that's Dexter.
It's a weird-looking robot. The love matching robot or something? I can't remember.
Something along those lines. So this is not your typical board game where you have like a start space and you move around the board. Instead, you have these different
Categories.
sections. They're divided by little like triangles here for all the different types of cards in the game.
And there's a lot of different cards in the game.
There are. So I think what we'll do, the best way is maybe to set it up and then kind of go from there. So we have holiday cards, which go on their matching space.
The courtesy card, which goes on the courtesy cards.
We have occupation cards. Interests cards. Hang on, sorry. There is a plastic tray in the box.
It's hard to get
separate.
the cards out there. The bottom ones. Appearance.
And then there's not actually enough slots in this tray for everything though. So some of them do have to share. So just give me a moment while I get some of these separated. Here are the behaviour. Then we have 4 different types of Dexter cards. So these are the ones that we're going to build our perfect match from. We have feet, which will go over there. Your perfect match might have some feet, perhaps.
Or might not. I'm not here to judge.
Body. Head.
Your perfect match probably should have a head, though.
And some legs. These are colour-coded as well. So the love hearts in the corner have, like, green, for example, here. So that's where your leg cards go. That sounds weird. Leg cards.
Better than head cards?
Sure. Then we have Cupid.
The worst spinner in the world.
Yeah, so this doesn't seem to have a hole or anything to go in.
So normally you sort of put a little clip down the bottom and this sort of clips on the top. But this one you sort of just spin in the middle. It's unwieldy and goes everywhere.
Perhaps it had a base originally when the game was released, but we don't have it, so this is all we've got. Because it looks like it should have had a base.
Something.
So we've just got to spin it in the middle. Alright, then we have... Well, it's a bit hard to read, but it
Personality card.
Yeah, it's the pink bit you're reading, which doesn't show up that well.
Good font choice.
So everybody gets dealt one of these, and these are your choices of who you think your perfect match is that you're going to build throughout the game.
So you want the lady with not many clothes, or the chef?
Yep.
Or do you want the ski person, or the beer dude?
The beer dude, lovely.
Or do you want the guy with no clothes that don't fit, or the schoolgirl?
Yeah, that's a bit odd having a schoolgirl in there, I think. Lady in a nightgown.
Person in suit.
That's the host, right?
Is it? Yeah, it looks like
so,
it.
Yeah. Then we have these two.
The librarian, or the rocker.
Yep.
Or the...
Tennis player.
Was it Patrick Rafter?
Well, not quite, but...
And dress lady.
Yeah. So you get one of these cards each, and you have to decide whether you would like to go for A or B on whichever card you get.
But the whole scheme of things, it doesn't really matter who you pick, because as long as you get a match of each one of the cards in all the same colour.
Yes. So you have to have a pen and paper to play this game, which were not included in it. And when you first get your card, you pick either A or B. Write that on your bit of paper. Underline it to make it stand out from the other things you'll be writing down later. And that's the one you stick with throughout the game.
So basically, once
you don't show everyone either.
Once you picked your perfect match or matches, you can get dealt more personality cards depending on how many people are playing. The aim is to basically answer questions, earn love hearts, and try and assemble your perfect match.
Yes, so these are the love hearts, or I guess the currency in the game. Everybody starts with 2 of these, but you can earn more by answering and guessing. Sorry, not by answering them so much, but more like guessing other people's answers to questions.
Yes, it's sort of like, what was that show where the couples would write down the answers and then they'd come back and if they matched.
What's that called? The Newlywed sort of game.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that was what the show was called, but
it's
the game.
similar sort of functions. So basically, who goes first again? Whoever.
So it gets spun. Whoever it is pointing at, shuffle these cards and deals one out to each player. We should mention, if you're not playing with all 6 players, because you can have up to 6 in this, you do have to remove some of the leg, head, body, and feet cards.
The personalities that haven't been picked.
Not picked, but the cards that you're leaving out of the game. So if you're playing with 3 people, you'll only have 3 cards to deal out, 4, 5, or 6. If you're only doing, say, 4, all the puzzle pieces for these 4 have to be removed from the game, so as not to clog the game as you
Which
play.
is a real hassle.
Yeah, you've got to go through every pile and remove them, which is not a fun setup.
So you've shuffled, you've been dealt your personality cards, you've picked your personality cards. Now it's time to earn some hearts.
Yes. So whoever is going first, I don't recall there being a reason of who gets to actually go first, but they would spin this, and depending on which deck of cards it's pointing to, what they will do. So say I spun interest like I just have now.
So you'd pick it up and then you'd have to spin again.
Yes, so I do not show this question to anyone. I spin again.
Oh, look, it's pointed to me. Whoa.
Whoever it's pointing to has to answer this question. So, but not straight away.
No.
So I would read it out. You are on a group tour, and one night it is decided that everybody will get up and do something to entertain the others. Do you A, rush to be first, B, have to be dragged onto the floor, C, develop a headache, or D, join in with the others?
So then I'd be like, okay, I'd write on my piece of paper and go, I think it's whatever it is without telling anyone.
Yep, so say Nathan picked D.
D.
Join in with the others or something.
And then Laura would be like, what would Nathan pick?
Yes.
And then you'd have to guess what my answer was that I wrote down to that question.
Yes, so you're learning about the other players. So I know Nathan pretty well, and he's the sort of person who would absolutely get up and do something stupid to entertain other people. So I would probably guess D, join in with the others.
Yes, so actually...
Or rush to be first.
I'd be rush to be first. So if I did A and you're like, rush to be first A, I'm like, yeah, that's right, look, it's right here. Then you win your 2 hearts.
Yes. So if I guess right, I get 2 more hearts to add to the pile I started with.
And I get a heart for being a good sport.
Yes. Now, if I get that wrong, and Nathan picked A, but I said D, well, too bad.
That's end of turn. Next person.
Yes. However, if I get it right, not only do we each get some of those hearts, as we mentioned, but I get another turn.
And you can keep on going until one question is answered incorrectly.
Yes. Now, you can also then spend your
currencies, your hearts.
Yes. So to put my person together, say I've picked our lovely beer drinking friend here, B. I might go, all right, I'm going to pay 2 hearts. That's how much they cost. Put those in the bank. And I'm going to start with some legs.
So you can go one of any 4 of the Dexter piles.
Yes, you can pick the legs, the body, the feet, the head. I picked legs. This is what I got. Now, obviously, these do not match. They are not my legs.
You also don't show other players what you pick up.
No, only you. So I would then keep this face down over my side here. And that's something I might be able to trade later on to try and find my correct pieces. If that was matching my beer drinking perfect match over there, I would still keep it face down, but I would have to use one of my other hearts to put above it.
To seal it.
To seal it, to keep it.
Which protects it from being stolen or lost otherwise throughout the game.
Yes. You can only protect them that way if they are part of your perfect match, not just if they are a random one.
So before we go a bit more onto some of the more complexities of trading Dexter cards, so we just discussed the courtesy and the holiday cards.
Well, hang on. So we had an interest before. The interest, the appearance, the occupation and behaviour are all just questions and all work in the same way. So you're asking someone...
they write down
their answer would be.
They write down their answer, then you have to guess, or whoever picked up the card.
If you guess what their answer was, you get 2 and they get 1, like you said, for being a good sport. So that is for all 4 of those.
These two function like a chance and community chest in Monopoly. You get it up, you read what the card says, and generally you either lose hearts or gain hearts. Sometimes you can take an extra Dexter card.
Yep, so say we spun courtesy card on my turn or Nathan's, it doesn't matter.
If you forgot your date's birthday, lose either a heart or miss your next turn.
Yep, so maybe if you don't have hearts, you would have to lose that turn. Up to you, I guess, which one you choose.
When you were standing at the heart line, the wall slid back to reveal your date. You smiled politely, kissed them on the cheek, and then proceeded to break the 4-minute mile.
In other words, you ran away.
Ah, okay.
You didn't like what you saw for your date. So some of them end up with miss a turn.
Lose a heart, miss a turn.
Some of them have the choice of the penalty. Lose all your hearts. Oof.
Jeez.
Sheesh. That's unfortunate, isn't it?
You gave your date a fantastic day skydiving. Things are looking up. Most of them have puns on them, by the way.
Yes. We won't go through all of them. There's actually quite a few
that's a
in
Dexter
each deck.
Your date sees you as the love of their life. Keep this card for one free Dexter card when you need it. Then return to the bottom of the pile.
Yep. When these cards go back, you're meant to put them face up on the bottom of the pile. So then when you get to a face up card, you know you've been through the whole deck.
And you can just
shuffle and continue.
Same thing. The motel.
This is the holiday deck.
Oh. The motel forgot to charge you for the elaborate and romantic evening meal that won you a heart that night. What a bonus, take a heart. And it's the same, lose a heart.
These ones are more holiday themed, hence the name holiday
Lose
cards.
2 hearts, it's a rough one. You left your date sleeping in the sun for hours. They were burnt to a crisp. They were sun bleached.
Oh gosh. Alright, so you continue to do that and continue to purchase your Dexter cards.
And once you've built up quite a few, let's just get a couple for you. Couple for me, whatever it may be.
Alright, so say I had these 4 cards. Obviously none of these match the beer drinking person that we're just using as an example here. So none of those are useful to me, so I won't have sealed any of them. I'll have all of these sitting face down on my side here. Maybe I've built up a few spare hearts. So it's time for me to start trying to swap some cards to try and find who I'm looking for.
There's 3 ways of swapping, getting rid of, or trading Dexter cards.
The very first way is called a blind date, which you need to pay 1 heart for.
To the bank.
To the bank, yes. Now, what that allows me to do is to look over here at Nathan's face down card. So again, I don't know what they are.
They're face down.
And I go, okay, I need a head and some feet. I can pick 2 to look at. Yes. Not to have, but just to look at. I can't show everybody else.
Just between you and the player you're picking from.
Yes. So I would have a look and I go, oh, yes, that is the card I need, or one of the cards. I can then take that one, but I do have to replace it with another card to give back to Nathan.
So be careful, if the only cards you've got are the ones you need, it means you're going to have to give that person the card you need.
Well, you can't do that because they're sealed.
No.
So I would maybe give this one back. Now, obviously, I do not know which match Nathan has picked because he's only written that on his piece of paper. However, if I've got this card, this is where the only little bit of strategy in this way kind of comes in. I can see that this clearly isn't going to be Nathan's because it's on my card, so I know he doesn't have it. So I have to give him the same 2 back, but after the same amount back,
after taking one.
I've swapped one of them. So that's then helped me, and I would take my feet and seal them over there. Everything else that goes with my match, I can just put over there under that heart and it's automatically
You don't
sealed.
have to seal every part.
No. The second way then by the way, if Nathan didn't have anything I needed in the 2 cards, I just give them both back.
Yeah, you don't have to take one and exchange one if you don't need any of the cards you've looked at.
In fact, you can only take them if they belong to your match. The second way, they've made a little mistake in the instructions.
It says it costs 3 hearts, but we're pretty sure it's 2 because the third way of exchanging card costs 3, so 1, 2, 3 hearts.
Yeah, so the second way is called Introduction Party. It says 3 hearts in brackets, but then it refers to only putting 2 hearts in the bank, so we believe it's 2.
It's 2.
So for this one, it's very similar to the blind date way that we just showed you, except you have to pay 2 hearts to the bank.
And then you pick someone, and I have to show all my cards except 1.
Yes.
So if I go, gee, I think Laura's got whoever, I'm going to show her these 3, but not show her this one.
Yeah, so he can only keep 1. You want to pick someone who has lots of cards to look at. It's not really much use paying 2 hearts to then look at their 1 card. You could have done that as a blind date.
Exactly. Instead
of an introduction party. Now I would have a look at all but the one he kept back and go, I don't need any of those. They go back.
Womp womp.
Had I needed one, I would have again done the same as before and swapped one of mine that I didn't need, taken the one I needed, and handed him the same amount of cards back that he started with.
Now, the final one, was it a Dear John?
Yes, so the third way to exchange or swap cards is a Dear John, which costs you 3 hearts.
Expensive.
The most expensive.
But it's also probably the most useful, especially if you don't have any players playing.
Yes. So I'll grab a couple more. Maybe I've had rotten luck. I've got 6 things that I don't need, and I've had a bit of a trade. Nathan doesn't seem to have anything else that I might need for my perfect match.
So they're probably still in the Dexter piles.
Yep. I can pay 3 of the hearts to the bank. 3. To put all of these back in their decks.
And then once you put... So say Laura put 6 back of any of the piles. Laura can then take 6 cards from any piles in any combination.
Yes. So I've sealed my feet, for example, over here, so I wouldn't be taking any feet cards because that would be pointless. So since I gave 6, I would go, okay, I'm going to take 2 more bodies, 2 more legs, and 2 heads since I need all 3 body parts.
But if Laura only needed the head, Laura could have taken 6 heads out of the Dexter pile.
Yes. Bear in mind, some of these normally would be removed from the deck if you only had like 3 people playing, so you won't necessarily have the volume that we're giving an example for here. These are all then mine. I don't have to like pick and choose. They just all come into my hand. If it's something that I need, which I don't think any of them are, which is unfortunate, they would just then go back face down in my normal pile, and then maybe Nathan will try and swap with me knowing I have new cards next turn and he has hearts.
So you basically keep on going until someone's got their perfect match all set up with all the correct body parts?
Yes, which I would put together, but I haven't actually seen all of the body parts.
There you go. There's Booney.
So perhaps I was getting near the end, and that's not... Wait, that's not my leg. That is the legs. What are they? Someone else's legs. Oh no.
Pardon me.
Where is he? There they are, his legs. What am I doing?
There we go. What a catch.
So when I had all 4 of my perfect match, I would say, all right, I've got my perfect match. I turn over those cards and put him together. I've won either that round or that game, depending on how you're going to play.
So basically, the scoring gets a little bit interesting.
Oh yes, because there's scoring.
Yes.
So if I complete my perfect match, that means I'm the winner. I get 150 points, which I record on my piece of paper that I've got.
Possibly a love heart-shaped notepad.
Well, I suppose you could if you had one. So for me, that's the end. 150 points, no more. Now, Nathan would then have a look at any cards that he might have had sealed.
Of which, this case, I didn't, but say I had...
Pretend he had something sealed. Do we have matching here? Here, I've got those. Pretend this was Nathan's perfect match, and he had those 2 cards that had been sealed. He now gets to turn those over, and he gets a score as well. Because they were part of his perfect match, he gets to double the face value, because they've all got numbers on them.
So that'd be 35, and then...
So that'd be 40, because that'd be 10,
yes,
if you double it.
And then I get to try and make a mismatch one from the rest of the cards in my hand.
Yes. So anything you have to add to your perfect match that doesn't actually belong, you just get the face value, not double.
So I'd get 40, plus 15 is 55, and then the legs is 14, so it'd be 69.
Yes. Obviously it's not a perfect match, and it's well and truly less than my 150 score for finding that. Now it says to do this scoring to work out who came second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth, or whatever it may be, depending on how many are playing. Or if you want to play the game in rounds, then you would continue and do another game, add that to your score, and move on. But it kind of takes a while. I can't see playing this in rounds. No,
and especially if you've got more than 3 people, I think you're going to be here for quite a while. And by the end, I think most people are going to be like, I'm done.
Yeah. And with a board game, I'm not usually too fussed about who comes second, or third, or fourth, or fifth, or sixth.
Not unless, like you said, you're playing in rounds, but then who's... Yeah,
but it's quite long to play in rounds. So I think the scoring's a little pointless. I feel like it just should be, yay, I've got my perfect match, I won.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's how I'd play it if I was to play it again.
Yeah. I think so too. That's perfect match.
Yes.
We did do another like perfect match.
It was an
game
electronic
a really
one.
Long time ago.
It had something about you put the hearts together and they beeped or something if you're a match.
Yeah.
Certain things.
That's up on the channel if you want to check that out. But this one's okay. I think very nostalgic if you watched the show.
Probably not a whole lot of value these days though.
But it's just, like I said, nostalgia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section down below, did you watch the show? Or not just in Australia, but maybe in another country, because there are different versions of it, I believe.
And why do I want to think that they rebooted it or there was another series later on?
I think there was. Yeah. Hit that subscribe button and check back soon. We have videos every single Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.